Hello everyone, I'm Wolfgang from the Tank Encyclopedia team, and today I will be building the Type 2 HOI from IBG Models in 1:72 scale. This is actually the first time I work in this scale for the channel. I would like to mention that this video has kindly been sponsored by IBG Models, as they sent us this nice kit. While I am grateful to them, you will get my honest thoughts on the kit and its quality. Let's start with the assembly portion of this build. As you can see, the tracks and half of the wheels are molded in one piece. Since you only need to glue in the outer wheels, the whole assembly process is a lot faster and easier than usual for this scale. The detail does not suffer at all from this mold design. In fact, the bolts and track links are well pronounced. I advise using a thin cement and a pair of tweezers since the parts are quite small. Gluing the aforementioned subassembly to the hull is also quickly done, due to the good fit of the parts. The lower hull is well detailed as well, without losing much due to the smaller scale. A dark wash at the weathering process will make the small rivets even more pronounced. Now let's move on to the upper hull. All parts fit in an exact manner, and the two pillars will later on help to glue the upper hull to the lower in exactly the way they should align with each other. I advise you to glue them together after you have finished painting and weathering the lower hull and tracks for convenience. A neat little trick for bending photo-etched parts like this exhaust cover mesh is to use the spruce of the kit. In this case, the exact angle that was needed could be achieved. Attaching said photo-etched part is easily done by holding it with a pair of tweezers and dabbing the edge of it in superglue. Afterward, it can be put in the correct place. The turret consists of about 7 parts in total. Again, no fit issues at all, assembling it was a joy. The main gun does not go through the turret plates in this kit, but glues right onto the front plate. The gun has a molded hole in the barrel that is 2 mm deep. You can easily drill further if you wish to, but I think it's deep enough for this scale. The machine gun mantlet can be equipped with the included Type 99 machine gun, but I opted to place it on the engine deck as if the crew wanted to do some maintenance procedures and just left it there for a while. For painting the camouflage, I used my airbrush and AK Interactive Real Color paints. I used the tan color for the base and sprayed it in one layer, which fortunately turned out well. Usually several thin layers are advised, but from what I experienced so far, these lacquer paints are quite forgiving. I also learned from my past mistakes and attached some crocodile clips to the parts I want to spray paint, so that my hands don't get the full amount of paint. About 20 clips from eBay, it's a good investment. The first layer of the camouflage is a green tone and was applied with medium thickness in a fairly random manner. If you have a specific camo you want to recreate, masking putty is a really good solution. Drawing the outlines thinly with a mechanical pencil is also a good way to achieve good results. This, however, requires some practice with the airbrush first. The brown stripes of the camo are simply sprayed on the side of the existing green parts. I was very surprised when my cheap airbrush produced these thin lines. AK real color paints really amaze me at this point, I can't recommend them enough. If you wondered if the colors are not the same shade as they should be, you are spot on. I didn't have the exact colors and ordering them would have taken a while, so I opted for painting method that can help achieve better results. Oil paints are really helpful for giving different shades to existing paint layers and adjusting them. In this case I wanted to make the applied lacquer paints more lifelike, so I used yellow and green oil. First and foremost, a gloss coat of paint is necessary to protect the existing paint layers. Applying small dots with a small brush is the second step. Afterward, the excess amount can be removed with white spirit, making the oil paints more subtle. Applying another coat of gloss coat is a good idea after the oils have dried and cured to protect the paint from future weathering chemicals. The results are more accurate than before and made the various colors have more shades, making them more interesting. The story of the Type II Ho-I is that of constant delays. In 1937, Japanese troops stationed in Manchuria encountered emplacements and pillboxes that were too big of a bite for the then issued 47 and 57mm guns. In 1939, work started on placing a new turret on the Type 97 Chiha chassis. This turret was fitted with the Type 41 75mm gun. The idea was similar to the Panzer IV, a support vehicle for use against fortified structures. Tests and adaptation of the gun commenced in 1940, but it was not ready for service before 1941, and production started even later, with conversions being based on the Type 1 Chihi chassis. However, the appearance of the Sherman in the Pacific Theater prompted the gun modification program in 1942 in order to allow it to use AP shells. I applied a dark brown wash to make details more pronounced. I simply covered areas where bolts, rivets, nooks and crannies are present. I let the wash dry for a few minutes and removed excess with a soft brush that had small amount of white spirit on it. The same dark brown wash was also applied on the tracks. After building and painting this beautiful kit, it is now time to make it look used. I didn't want to overdo it since only about 30 were built and none of them saw actual combat. A simple application of earth pigment is perfectly fine in this case. The Type II Hawaii was initially meant to be a conversion of the main battle tank of the Imperial Japanese Army, the Type 97 Chi-Ha. But it was later decided to use the improved but very similar chassis of the Type I Chi-He. Both share the same turret ring, which restrained the size of the turret that could have been fitted. The final product weighed about 16 tons, had the Mitsubishi Type 100 air-cooled V12 diesel, which developed 240 horsepower, back-crank suspension, all of which gave a range about 100 km and a top speed on flat terrain of 44 km per hour. The Type 99 75mm gun was supplied with high explosive shells and after late 1942 armor-piercing shells as well. The welded hull, partially sloped, offered protection ranging from 12 to 50mm. Production figures are uncertain as it was discontinued, first because of the shortage of materials caused by bombings of the American sea blockade and due to the choice of using the Type I Chi-He chassis, already short in supply. Eventually, around 30 Type II Hawaii were apparently manufactured and delivered, with additional delays due to modifications made to the gun in order to use AP shells. By 1944, Mitsubishi's mass production of the type, although scheduled to start long before, was hampered by the scarcity of needed materials, aggravated by the utmost priority being given to the Navy and Air Force. The whole program was eventually cancelled at the end of 1944, when it appeared Mitsubishi was unable to mount a mass production of the type. However, these vehicles were allocated to the Japanese home islands defense units, in case of the planned Allied invasion of late 1945, which never took place. These tanks, of which none survived, consequently never fired a shot in anger. Let's briefly recap what this kit offers. First of all, I would like to again thank IBG Models for this amazing kit and kind support. They made a great little 70 scale kit. The fit is excellent, the part count is perfect for a quick weekend project, which was much appreciated after the marathon the T-34-85 was. The kit includes well-detailed decals, photo-etched parts and 2 crew figures as well. The price is around €12 at the date of the review. The quality and detail of the parts are well worth the asking price. However, I am starting to realize that these kits I have been sent for review are so good exactly because the company is satisfied enough with them to send them for the review. Still, it's fine by me. You guys get to know this kit is good and I get to build a nice kit. I only experienced 2 issues during this build. One issue was the smallest photo-etched parts, for which I didn't have small enough tweezers, so installing them was not possible for me. A wax-tipped part-picking pencil could easily solve this issue. The second is a curse in disguise. The decals are really thin and I wasn't prepared for that, so I got one a little bit wrinkled. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because they will conform fantastically to any surface due to their thickness. Just be careful while handling them and you should be good to go. All in all, this is an amazing 72nd scale kit, especially for the enthusiasts of Japanese AFVs or people who prefer weekend projects after a more complicated build. If you like this video and want to see more tank related content on our page and on YouTube, please visit our Patreon campaign and consider donating. For more interesting content, visit one of the shown outlets. Have you checked our magazine yet? You should definitely do that. It contains amazing illustrations and articles, one of which is about Mephisto, the only surviving original A7V. Thanks for watching this video. Next time we will take a look at the free arrow truck that IBG Models kindly provided. Stay tuned!